So we have one last simon here, Aboisai, Simon Tov Tzadi Daled. The Seder, the name of the simon is Seder Tfilas Chag HaShavuos. Obviously, there's much more than just the tefillah. Let's see today, we have a big agenda, Aboisai, the Halacha, the Hashkafah, the attitude toward the Shavuos. But I think for Shteitzach, we have to start when the Shulchan Aruch tells us when is Shavuos. Yom Chamishim l'Svir Sa'omer Hu Chag HaShavuos. When it comes that 50th day, that day that we've all been waiting for, that beloved day, Yom Chamishim l'Svir Sa'omer is Chag HaShavuos. Let's see a little bit before we go into the Lemaisa Dik, before we go into the Halacha Dik. Let's see a little bit Lemaisa. What is the greatness of this day? What is it that we wait for 50 days, for 49 days, and that we count down to this moment? Let's see a little bit of the Geidel of the day. In the Siddur of the Yavitz, he says, Yom Zeh Gadol Me'oid. This is a great day. V'chaviv Yeser Mikoila Yomim Tovim. This is greater than all of the other Yomim Tovim. You know, sometimes we're nervous to say such statements. You know, we're like afraid to say, this Yontif is more important than this Yontif. Who could say something's more important than a Rosh Hashanah, than Yom Kippur? But the Yavitz was not scared. This day is the greatest day. It's the greatest Yom Tif. That means this is the greatest day of the year. Hayom hachashiv vayoker biyoser mikol hashana. The greatest and most precious day in the whole year. And the Lashon of the Arizal, when he talks in Shavuos, Hayom yesh by aliyah l'nefesh ha'Yisrael mishar yamim tovim. There's no day that has a greater accomplishment that a person can accomplish, that the Yiddish and Neshama can accomplish, than the day of Shavuos. And the Lashon of the Shla Kodesh, who Yoim Hadin al Torah shel Kol Hashana. Imagine talking to a businessman, you're telling him it's the Yom Hadin specifically on your business. What's our business? What's the business of every Erlich Yid, especially a Ben Torah, especially us, especially in the Kallus, who Yom Hadin al Torah shel Kol Hashana. Soon a person has to have that pachad in less than 40 hours. We're going to the Yom Hadin of what's going to be with my Torah. And it's marumas in the Divrei HaChazal, says the Shla Kodesh in Rosh Hashanah Daf Zayin. Atzeres nidoinim on the Peiros Ha'ilam. What are the Peiros? The Peiros are the Neshamas HaPorchais Meilonoi Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And our Oilam is needed on this day. On what are you needing on the day of Shavuos? On Bittul Torah. What is your yachas to Torah? Are you mevatel too much Torah? Are you going to be mevatel Torah this year? That's what requires a Kabbalah of Torah. And you look in Rav Shlomo Kluger, he has a sefer called the Kehillas Yaakov. In the Kehillas Yaakov, he says, Haneshama mikabeles biyoim zeh kol echos lefi madregasa. On this day, everybody will be makabel Torah. Everyone kefi the madrega that he's holding. Kol chidushay Torah mashe osid lahavin ulechadish b'kol hashana. What you're going to be zeicha to understand this year in Torah, it's all determined on this day. That means especially us that we learn together bechabura. That means we're connected. And it's important for us to be makabel Torah together. Because when we're Mekabel Torah together, we'll all have the same Siyata Dishmaya, what will be Maven together, and what will be Zeichet D'Shteig together. And you look in the Svarim, other Svarim HaKadoshim, what extent the person will be able to be Oived Hashem this year is dependent on the Kabbalah that will be in Chag HaShavuos. This Vasemis in Shavuos, in 1883, Tavresh Mem Gimel, who ace Rotzain Lavoida Shebalei Zutvila. It's an ace Rotzin for Tvila. It's the Nidain on our Torah, the Nidain on our Bittul Torah, the Nidain on our Chidushay Torah that will be Zeichet to in the Asid Lavai. It's the most Chaviv day, the most precious day. There's an Aliyah to the Shema of a Klal Yisrael. This is the day that you've all been waiting for. And if you look in the Machzas HaShekel, Machzas HaShekel is a Paisik, Rabbi say. He's talking in Halacha. He's saying Nafkamina Halacha, the Machzas HaShekel in Siman Tov Samech Ches. The Machzas HaShekel says these words, hafladik words. Noide kol azmanim she'ira laviseinu. Everything that occurred to our Zaydas, everything that occurred to our Zaydas, Inyan ma kishagia, that's man when that time comes. Shuv mis oyrik sas me'ein oisay davar le'nyanahu. that day is Nisoirer 3,332 years ago, occurred also 3,331 years ago, 3,330 years ago, last year and this year in Tavshin Pei. And it's Mesugo for the exact same shlemis. And the Machzah Shekel says it's an Afkamina Laloche. The Gemara brings down in Shabbos on Daf Kuf Tes, and Rosh Hashanah and Orbach Zeichet Tzadik Levracha. This was the shmuz that he would give on Erev Shavuos every year. He would say that it's a nafkamina lalocha, that which we makabel Torah. It's not just some nice Indian, some chizik to get you in the mood. Arid Halacha says that a person is not allowed to give blood on an Erev Yantif. What's the reason he's not allowed to give blood on Erev Yantif? Because on Erev Shavuos, there's a certain shade that exists in the world. We're almost holding where that shade exists. His name is Taboyach. And if Klal Yisrael accepted Torah, good. If Klal Yisrael don't accept the Torah, it's nitim mishus for that shade to turn the world to Torah Vavayu. Memela, he's already out on Erev Yantif of Shavuos. So, there's somewhat of a little bit of a kittrick. It's a little bit scary when he's out. So therefore, don't give blood. He might get confused. And when your blood is open, who knows what can happen? It's all different shilas. The person has a reason why he has no choice, etc. But upon him, that's why you can't give blood on Erev Shavuos. Why can't I give blood on Erev Pesach? Gzeira, I might come to give blood on Erev Shavuos. Rabbi said, that's very nice. 3,332 years ago, they shouldn't have given blood. But why tomorrow am I not going to be allowed to give blood to bloodlets? Sifais Techoy says the Machzah Shekel, it's real. It's not just some chizik, some flaflach. This is emis mamish laloche, that a person can't give blood because that shade comes to the world every single year, which means that tomorrow that shade is going to be here to see our Klal Yisrael Tavshin Pei going to be Mekabel the Torah. No, if a person would have to go for some type of a blood test, etc., especially in corona reasons, etc., for sure there's a makom to be makel. But the rayon, what we're being taught over here, Abaisai, is that this is real. The Kabbalah of Klal Yisrael is real. And you shall mean Rosh Hashanah in Perek Daled. Rabbi Sharshia b'shem of Idi, bekoila korbanis. In all of the korbanis it says chet. Sirizim, echad lachatis, by atzeres, by shvuos, ein kosev chet. It doesn't say the word chet. It just says sirizim echad. Why? Omelem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Omelem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you were makabel on yourselves the oil of Torah, I'm male as if loy chatatem yamechem. If you makabel on yourselves the oil of Torah now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wipes off all chatorim and makes it look as if Kivyochel never did a chet before. Memelo. It's a davar pashit that any bar das, says the Matan Moshe, would have to have a simcha on the fact that he's about to get a kaparas avaynis, for the fact that he's going to be makabel the Torah. This is the day that we're zeicha to the Kesser of Torah. This is the day Matan Moshe over there brings down that in all the korbanos in Parshas Emor, it says over there, it says only by korban oimer, it says reach nichayach, and only by the korban of Shavuos, it says reach nichayach. Why by none of the other ones? To teach you that if you makabel Torah, even if you give a korban like a behemoth, a korban oimer, and because the oil of Shavuos, the oil of Torah, that itself is what gives the Rebbeinu Shalom the greatest naches ruach. So we're about to go into a time which is going to give the Rebbeinu Shalom tremendous reach nichayach. And the Gemara in Pesachim and Daf Samach Chesam Beis. The Gemara says, "Ha-kol moedim bat seres de be'inon nami lochem." Everyone agrees that whether or not there's a shaila on the other Yomim Tovim, if it's kula l'Hashem, kula for the Klal Yisrael. But when it comes to Atzeres, everyone admits that you have to make sure you have a tremendous oinig. Why? To show the nichusa that we receive Torah. Already right now, the halacha is brought down that you must make sure, Chalila, not to fast on that day. And for a person has to make sure that on that day, he has tremendous simcha, what you enjoy to eat. He has to make sure that's what he eats, right? And what did Rabbi Yossi teach us? He taught us already now you have to be doing a bikur korban, an eglatilsa. Go to this, go right now, and go be murdering the cow in order to be making an eglatilsa, so that you can check, is this one going to give me great pleasure when I eat her on Shavuos night? Hold on one moment, Rabbi Isai. Rebbitzin, I need to see the eglatilsa. Okay. We're not talking about a simple day. This is the chasana. For a chasana, what do you go for? A testing before the chasana. You don't just go to sit down and eat. You have to make sure that everything is prepared. We're going to show the Rebbeinu Shalom that this is the day that we've all been waiting for. This is the simcha that we've been waiting for. We've been waiting, so we want to show by eating yummy food. So you have to check, is this the food that's good? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This one, that could be for you. This one seems like it's okay.
I can't see it.
This one seems like it's okay. I think we're going for this one. Right? I think so. Okay. Thank you. Kaltuf, see you soon. There might be more necessity of your propping. Thank you. But there has to be a beaker korban, Rabbi Isai. Anybody whoever made a chasana knows that this is what you do before a chasana. You go for a tasting, you check out the flowers, you check out everything, because we have to show the great simcha and appreciation and pleasure that we have, that's the day that we receive the Torah. It should be different than every other day. If on a regular day, on a regular Shabbos Yontif, he has this type of meat, the best meat, to show the nichusa and to show the pleasure that we're zeichet to Torah. I once heard from Rabbi Yashiv. What else is there a great simcha on Shavuos? That at Matan Torah was nisrape koil ha'cholim. And since it was nisrape koil ha'cholim at Matan Torah, he said it's the zman most misugel. This is coming from Rabbi Yisrael, from Rabbi Yashiv. Not saying. But it's like a Litvak. It wasn't the person that was known for his schoolers and his this. Rav Yashiv said that the Yom most mesugal of the whole entire year for refuah is at the Shas Aseres Adibris, when they're laning Aseres Adibris, and whoever's not going to be able to go to shul to hear the laning. But at the time when you know there's a laning taking place of Aseres Adibris, that's a zman. That's a zman that is mesugal to be mevakesh and mispalel for the refuah of people, because at Matan Torah, which is being reenacted at Matan Torah, Klal Yisrael got a refuah. Klal Yisrael received a pashut refuah on anybody that was sick. So that is nisoyer every single year at this man. And there's a lashon of the psikta that I found that really mamish sounds like Rav Yashiv. Oh my gosh, Baruch Yisrael. Bonai, hey, you koyrinus a parsha says bekol shana, vani mala lechem ki'ilu atem oimdim lefnei Har Sinai. If you read every year the Aseres Adibris over again, so then I'll be malad on you as if you're standing in Har Sinai, which obviously you get the benefits of standing in Har Sinai. And we must have that incredible simcha. And Shlomo Zalman said that even if in a regular yontif, there's a whole shaila. If you're allowed to dance, the Gemara says you shouldn't dance. On yontif, you're not supposed to dance because there's a Mishnah, Dina the Mishnah. But he said on yontif of Shavuos or Simchas Torah, when you dance, it's l'kovid that Torah. And even if you won't be zeicha to be, let's say chas v'shalom, in a shul or something in a base medrash, so that doesn't mean that you don't dance. So you take afterward your svarim and you dance with your svarim. And if you're in your shul with your special for Shabbos, rather everybody should make sure that they have a special Yontif and Shabbos mask, like I do. This is special for Yontif and Shabbos, not the regular one that you have during the week. These are the ones during the week, right? But this is a special one during Shabbos. Look at that. This is a Shabbos Kodesh mask, right? But Al Kapanim, when you dance, you're dancing on Shavuos, because what are you dancing for? You're dancing for that incredible Simchas HaTorah. And the Vilna Goyin in the Ma'aser Rav, they bring Tigdalai HaSimcha Yiser Mikol Regel. By the Goyin, the greatest Simcha was the Yontif of Shavuos. So that's just a little bit, Rabbi Isai, a mashu of what is going on in Shavuos, a little bit before we get into the halacha. A mashu. But Rabbi Isai, we have to also make sure, like the Shvatl reminds us, that in addition to all that simcha, you first have to be a litvak. That simcha, of course, is all for tachlis of hodah and to be a mahalot Hashem Yisparach, and it should be ma'orer in his lave, like the lashon of the shla, the skadish, l'taken ma'asav, lios muchter with the keser of Torah. We want to have the keser of Torah, the crown of Torah. The kain, the gisa by yoim and v'layla. That should be our attitude. How are we going to be seicha to be magisa toiv yoim and v'layla? Yoim ze yoim the din of limit Torah. We have to keep that in mind. It has to be a gilui bir ada. In addition to that incredible simcha, and the El Rabbi brings him the Arizal. That's why a person has to go and be toivel on erev Shavuos. Unfortunately, this year, not all of us are going to be able to be toivel on erev Shavuos. So he has to go and be toivel himself without the mikvah. He has to go with the shloishes yimei and act with precious yisera, kedushi yisera. Has to be careful where his eyes look, where his mouth talks. He has to go and do the toilelis of a mikvah without a mikvah. Be careful with your eyes. What a person can do by not looking where Jewish eyes shouldn't look, he does with one mania, he does more than all of the mikvayis in the world are capable of doing. So that's what he does in Erev Shabbos. Excuse me, on Erev Yontif. And it's Aikadei Kach, such a Yom Kaddish. So it's brought down by the Mekubalim that they say that even though normally you're not allowed to cut your nails, your toenails and your fingernails on the same day, but on the Erev Shavuos you're allowed to, because just like a woman that's being matayir the baila, so too on Shavuos you're coming to Kivyachol that the Kallus Yisrael is being matayir in order to be makabel the Helik Torah. Derech Agav, for those that keep the Arizal. So like they don't take haircuts the entire 49 days of the Sefira. So the Maisa, you're allowed to take a haircut, of course, tomorrow, Erev Yontif, even according to Arizal. Some have the minig even tonight. So if your days get hectic, so then even the Arizal Be'etzim was mako that you can have one on Erev Yontif, and therefore tonight, yes, it's a pikabala they have in Yonim about not taking haircuts at night, but that's a regular kpeda. If you have that kpeda during the year, you have it now. I, Lamashal, don't have that kpeda, so I probably will be taking my haircut tonight, even though I tried to be makbid on the Arizal. That's Ad Kandi in Yonim of the Yoim. The Mishabur over here in Sivkot Aleph, the Mishabur brings down that Ma'achar and the Spalal Arvis Beknisis Shavuos Ad Seisek Echavin Kadeshe Mei Svira Mem Test Tmimis. Over here, the Mishabur is megala to us that the Indian of Tmimis says that there must be 49 complete days, which means that we want 49 complete days, and to a certain extent, we want to be pushing off the Yontif Kivyachol until the 49 days are complete. And the Shloah Kaddish says that the Ikar Akpeda is not to make Kiddush and not to eat until Tzeis, so that we can have 49 complete days. And that's the Lashon of the Magen Avram. The Leil Shavuos ain't mekanchin ala koyis at Tzeis. However, the Taz, and that's brought over here by the Mishabura, he says not just Kiddush and not just eating, but even Ma'ariv. Even Ma'ariv. You have to make sure that you push off until Shkia, until Tzeis, not till Shkia, excuse me, until Tzeis, and that you don't daven Ma'ariv beforehand. Now, the truth is that there are many Achrayim, like the Yaibitz, that were maskim taka to the Shla and to Magen Avram, and that they said you could daven Ma'ariv early, and there are countries where it's kimat not shaykh to not be, to not be mako on this, and taka yet to daven Ma'ariv early, and then just to make sure that you don't make Kiddush until the night, and just make sure you don't eat until the night, because what are you going to do in a place like, let's say Vilna? I don't know if any Jews left in Vilna. Is there any place that's as high as Vilna today? Gateshead. It's like right by the North Pole. So Gateshead, Lamashal, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to wait till 11 o'clock at night in order to start. And then what kind of a learning is that? It's like a short Seder. It's like a 45-minute Seder. So what's the whole point of that? So the Maisa, I don't know what they do there. I'm getting messages that apparently they even wait there also. Yidden Kedoshim, Helik Yidden, but Al Kapanim, the Mishabura does bring down, and that's the Chaykankiv and the Shulchan Aruch and the Pri Megadim, that you should wait, and that's the Minhag Olam, is that you should take a wait, and that's the Netziv says is the Minhag Olam, that you should wait even for the Ma'ariv. I'm going to tell you a practical reason why Klal Yisrael, the Minhag is that they wait for the Ma'ariv. It's a very practical reason. In other words, they wait for the Ma'ariv until Tzeis, and they don't make early Yontif. Chutz from the Indian of Tmimis, there's another reason why. No, who could think? What's the reason why? What's the practical reason why? No. So far, no. Oh, very good. Rabbi Lieberman got it. The answer is because of Shema. Because many people stay up the night. So Mamela, usually if a person said it early and he doesn't wind up saying Shema during the meal, so at least Nishkafelich, before he goes to bed, he says Kriya Shema Lamita, like every Halacha Yid. So what's the harm? But Mashenkin tonight, he's not saying Kriya Shema Lamita. So if you're going to make Ma'ariv early, you're running the risk that you might not say Shema again. And that would be a tragedy to miss a Shema it's a mamish to miss that proclamation. That would be a tragedy. Like upon him, each place should do like their minig. I think the minig of most of Klal Yisrael is versteht sich to wait. That's the minig of most of us, even on the Ma'ariv. The Gabe ladies, so it's interesting. There's different minhagim. Some have a minig that even ladies that don't normally light on the night, and usually on Erev Yontif, there are many ladies that light still on Erev Yontif. For example, my wife lights on Erev Yontif. Many women light the candles on Yontif at night. But there's a minig that many have that even those that usually light the candles Erev Yontif, but on Shavuos, they light at night. Why? Ladies aren't chayiv in Sfira, they're not chayiv in this Indian of Tmimis. The answer is that it's true they're not chayiv, but the time of Shavuos is mafurish in the Torah, like the Shulchan Aruch says, that's Chag Shavuos. So then even if they're not chayiv in the Indian of Tmimis, but the time of when the Yontif starts is mafurish in the Torah. It starts after 49 complete days. And there are some women that have that minig. Their Rebbetzins minig is not like that. And we still light the candles on Erev Yontif. And even though we're making a Shechiyanu, the Afal Pikein, that's the minig. Everybody should do like their minig. Derech Agav, some ladies have a minig that they don't make. Some ladies have a minig that they don't make a bracha on Sfira the whole time because they're afraid they're going to forget, except for tonight. On the 49th night, they do make the bracha because, now they know they say, but some people make a mistake in this minig. They think that women have a minig that they make the Sfira on the 49th night. That's not the minig. The minig is if she counted all 48 days, Rabbi Isai, so then on the 49th night, she can go and make a bracha because she's been included in this the entire time. So that's the Chayram when it comes to women, klape the time that they should start. Klape the Indian of Tikkun, says the Mishabrua, Isa Bazayer Chasirim Mishainim Hayun Oirim Kol Alayla Va'oiskim B'Torah. Excuse me. They'd be up the whole night and they'd be oisik in Torah. Ukvarnagu Roiv Aloim Din Lasses came. And Arizal says, Kol Misha B'Layla L'Yashin Klav Ikar, and he was oisik B'Torah. He won't have any nezik the whole entire year. And the reason is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to wake up Klal Yisrael, because Klal Yisrael overslept, so we want to show that we don't overslept. Others oversleep. Others say the reason why is that we're trying to show Rebbeinu Shalom Be'emes, we would learn Torah always, every single second. If we had the ability, but we can't. Manas said, you made us with the Hanaisan Layav Kayach. We would love to learn every second. So at least on the night of the Yom Adin of Torah, we show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that our emes of its sinus, that we would learn Torah the whole entire night. And the minig that was the old minig, we'll call it the old minig, certainly the minig of the Svardim, the minig the Chidah brings down, was that they would say the tikkun. Could even, what would be the best is if you would be able to have this minig together with 10 people, that the Shechina Shayra, but for even if you're not with those 10 people, like this year, most of us will not be with 10 people. So Anfa Pikein, you'll be, yes, able to say the tikkun, able to learn, and have that in still tremendous maila, even though that maila that you found that the Beis Yosef was saying the tikkun and the fire that came around the shtibel of the Beis Yosef, that was only because there was a rebirth of people. But Rabbi, I don't know if you guys are having the fire anyways, so at least you should have the limit. And don't worry if you're going to have the 10 people, etc. The limit is the ikar. The limit is the ikar. Not to have any shum dvarim b'telim this night. Some say that the dvarim b'telim start from the beginning of the night. You believe such a chumrah? That means from the beginning of the night, no dvarim b'telim. It doesn't mean that, the whole entire meal you just sit like this. It means during the meal you have to talk Torah, right? And you tell your wife, pass the Gemara and Psachim and Daf Samech Chesam and Beis when you're on her to pass the Egla Tilsa, right? Or you tell your wife, pass me what the Shulchan Aruch says in Tav Kuf Chavtes, Simchas Yontif, when she passes you the bottle of wine. That's how you do it. Some say it only starts this Indian of Dvarim B'Telim from when the person starts the Tikkun Akaris, which is the limit itself, which is after the meal. No, Yesh Lahakel Dahainu Yesh lakel to not talk the whole night. It's the grace of my life. One night your life that all you do is talk Torah the whole entire night. The Seder Alimud, which many have the minig, is al pi the Arizal, and really before the Arizal, Misayd Shel Hazoyer, which is the Tikkun. And there are Bnei Torah also that say the Tikkun says the Chida. The Chida says even the Bnei Torah say the Tikkun. And the Maisa, if they finish the tikkun in time, how long does it say? How long does it say to take to say the tikkun? So then they'll have time to learn afterward, right? However, the Maisa, the Chayk Yankiv already from the earlier Paiskim, he brings down the Beis Moiri Chamiskeni Loy Nagu. They didn't have this minig because the Iker Tikkun of tikkun he brings down was only for the Amarotzim, and that it wasn't betachlis. It was to imagine everyone in Klal Yisrael together. But I know that you're going to ask, no, Beseda, that's the Chayk Yankiv, who was the Shvus Yankiv, Rabbi Yaakov Reisher, who is also the Torah's Ashlamim, who is also a grace Yid, but he was Fart the Litvak. Okay, it's only he was a Litvak because he was before Chassidim were born. But Al Kapanim, what about the Chassidim? So the Shulchan Aruch Rav, the Balatanya, Iker Esig Yeh B'Torah Shebal Peh, that the Iker Asik is supposed to be, and so said the Yeshuas Yankiv, the Levav Rav. And the Orlatzian also brings down that even the people that have the minig of saying tikkun, but if he's chashkev nafshei b'yoser in Torah, and he's nenner from that more than anything else, so he says he should still say a little bit of the tikkun, like the Psukei Tanakh and whatnot. But Al Kopanim, he shouldn't fear, and he should learn. So I would say like this: the person has a long-standing minig of tikkun, long-standing, and that's what he's always done. No, so the Nevada Kaddish Yomer. But if somebody, he has the minig of the yeshivas that he sits and learns Torah the whole entire night, Ashrei Loi to have such a minig, Ashrei both minhagim, Ashrei Loi v'Ashrei Lachem. Now, the Gabi Mishnayos, there's a whole Shaila Pikabala if you learn Mishnayos on this night. But upon him, certainly a person should try to stay up the whole night. You know, somebody once came to Shlomo Zalman, and he told Shlomo Zalman and messes up his Seder for the whole entire day, and etc. And Shlomo Zalman said, if you see a mini chaviv that was niskabil by Klal Yisrael, it's something which is wonderful to be mechanech your children in. People say all types of things. They say from Briska Rav that, yeah, it's a minig that everybody does. They don't stay up on Pesach, and it says you're supposed to stay up. And they do stay up on Shavuos, and it doesn't say you're supposed to stay up. It's not so true. I don't know if the Rav did say it or didn't say it, but it's not exactly accurate. In Ilchus Pesach, it says that not to stay up the whole night. It says you're supposed to stay up until you fall asleep. The boy say after 4 cups of wine and half a pound of matzah in your stomach, you're going to fall asleep. You'd sit on the couch for 1 minute, you read Shir and Chad Gad, yeah. But Mashen came on Shavuos night, that's the meaning of all Klal Yisrael to be staying up the whole night and learning Torah. I don't believe that the Briska Rav was Mezalzel the minig, and it was Mistama overly exaggerated by people that didn't understand the Briska Rav afterward, which wouldn't be the first time. But Mashen, when it comes to Tachlis, should you do it? It's going to mess up my Seder the next day. You do it. If you're physically capable, obviously, if you're not physically capable, you're not physically capable. That goes without saying, right? But this is a minig, which is a minig, a heilige minig for all of the men to learn Torah the whole night. It's obviously not a minig for the ladies. The ladies aren't supposed to even say Tikkun al Pi Kabbalah. There are some ladies that they say Tehillim. No, that's a wonderful thing to try to finish the whole entire Sefer Tehillim on Shavuos because the David HaMelech's Yartzeit. That's that. Now, by like Derech Agav, it seems to be that there was a minig. It seems to be that there was a minig of saying Tikkun and learning Torah on Shavuos night, the second night. If I'm not mistaken, you guys will correct me. It's been a long time since I've been in the old country, in the Shtetl, in Flatbush from years ago. I don't remember that we stayed up on the second night and learned Torah. I don't remember. But it seems to be that was the old minig, and that was what the Beis Yosef. It seems to be that that's what there were those that were doing. The minig is nowadays that in certain yeshivas they stay up. Okay, it's a beautiful minig, right? Really, a lot of yeshivas they do it nowadays. I remember when I was in yeshiva, so there was a try to go mamish straight. You know, straight. That's what I remember when I was a yeshiva to go straight. You know, stay up the whole night and then eat a little bit and then go straight, and try and stay up the second night. That's what I remember. Right? And then I passed out. I don't remember much more than that. But Al Kapanim, there is such an Indian taka, even on the second night, And look, these years, these days with Corona and this and that, you never know what you're capable of. You get more siyata d'shmaya. So anybody that wants to do it, it's certainly a Kaddish Yomer. I just mentioned one thing. I get asked this Shaila. What's better, staying up the first half of the night or second half of the night? A Pikabala, it's better to stay up the second half of the night. Hagam, you would have liked me to say the other way. But the Maisa, a Pikabala, it's better if you stay up the second half of the night. That's the Maisa, how it goes. The Gabi, the Zman of Shachris. So there are poskim that discuss that because people are tired, there's Mishnah Berurah that brings down, technically, you could start davening even after a lice, even before Nates, as long as it's from the Zman of Misha Yaker, putting on the talis and saying Yaitzer Or, but not to wait for Nates. The minig today, Rabbi say, is not to be saimach on these kulas. The only reason I'm mentioning it is because a lot of us will be davening b'chidus, and somebody's davening b'chidus, he might like mamish be about to pass out, and he's afraid to go to sleep because he's afraid if he goes to sleep, he's going to miss Man Kriyashma and what's going to be with waking up, etc., and all these things. So then you have to know there is a shtickle kula b'shatz tzchak to start davening. He would start the actual tefillah. Then at Misha Yakir, which is about 45 minutes before Nates, he would put on his talis and he would be allowed already to start saying Yaitzer Or and Shema, etc. And which would make it that it would be about a half an hour before Nates that he would do Shema outside. This is not lechatchila. The reason I'm mentioning it is because Mishnah Berurah does bring it down. The gabe, the halachas of the halachas of the brachas. So one thing that's important to know, all the brachas, except for the ones we're going to discuss, that means Netilas Yadayim, except for we'll talk about Netilas Yadayim, Ashiyotzer, Lekai Neshama, and Amaver Shena, and the Birchas Torah. Those are the ones we're going to discuss, which means all the other brachas, really you can make yourself. There's absolutely no difference why you should be Yotzei the Or, Oizei Yisrael B'Gvura, Oizei Yisrael B'Sefara, Noithim Le'av Koyach, all that you're allowed to make, and those make no difference if you stayed up the whole night or not. You're 100% allowed to make those brachas. One by one, we'll go through the brachas that there are issues in. But all the other brachas, you know how it is. The guy comes to the bima, and everybody thinks, it's Halacha Moshe Sinai, you have to be Yotzei with him, all the brachas. It's not true. You only have to be Yotzei with him, what we're going to discuss, the shilas that we're going to discuss. For example, tzitzis, a person that doesn't have a talis, right? He's a bacher. So then he can't make a bracha on tzitzis because he's been wearing tzitzis all night. So he has to be yotzei with somebody else's talis. If he's by himself, he's being chidus to see these things in the Geya. So you'll take a different pair of tzitzis if you want to get the bracha of tzitzis, and you're allowed to make a bracha on a different pair of tzitzis. Someone making on a talis, you don't make the bracha before the Zman of Misha Yakir, which is not 72 minutes. It's not alois, Rabbi say. The Zman of Misha Yakir is something like 50 minutes. It's a whole shilah in the Paiskim. I can't go into all the shilas, but it's certainly not 72 minutes. It's probably more like 50 minutes. Rabbi Yashiv at Chumras, it's more like 30 minutes. But Al Kopanim, halacha in the Gabe Tzitzis, you can only make a bracha on tzitzis, obviously, if it's a new pair of tzitzis or if it's a talis. That's number one. Number two is, that's the Gabe Tzitzis. Legabe the bracha of Maver Shena and Elikai Neshama. So there, Taka, it is the Mishnah Berurah does say you should try to get out of the Shiloh, and therefore, halavai, if you have somebody that could be moitzi you in the bracha, halavai, right? If a person this year, these shilos are much more negeya. Mishnah Berurah shita is you shouldn't make it on your own. You should get out of the shiloh. It's a stuffing bracha if you stayed up the whole night. If a person can't, this year is a good example why he can't, because he's bechidus. How could he do it? He can't. So the Mishnah Berurah sounds like it's a suffix, and I would say probably that a maver shena yes to make, and a lekai neshama probably to be yotzei in the second bracha of Mechayah Mason. I know this is a big fight, and I know that there are some paiskim like the Shulchan and the Graz that they say Maver Shena, and the Arizal, and they say Maver Shena, and they say Lekei Neshama, and the Sfardim Taka also, they say you can make all the brachas if you stayed up the whole night. Maisa, our paisik is the Mishnah Berurah. Moshe seemed to have said this also. It's at least a suffix. A Maver Shena is a little bit less of a suffix, and therefore there'd be a magim to be made on a Maver Shena, and Lekei Neshama, he would make the bracha. He would be yotzei by thinking of it in the second bracha Mechayah Mesim. It's good because that way it'll be one of the first times that we have kavanah in the second bracha Shemona Esrei anyways. So it's kedai just for that. Akopanim, that's Maver Shena, and that's Elikai Neshama. Al Netilas Yadayim. Our Kabbalah is that a person stays up the whole night. He should go to the bathroom, which after, what goes on the whole night, Rabbi Say, mitdiana coffee, and nacha coffee, and nacha coffee, right? And nacha drink, and nacha cheese, and nacha cake, and nacha dust, right? So then, our minhag is that you're going to have to go to the bathroom when the morning comes. And if a person goes to the bathroom by the time the morning comes, at the time of Alois, after that time, he'll have to make an anatil sidayim, and he'll have to make an asher yotzer, and that's how you get out of the shilas. For a person that doesn't have to go, you have a special malach, and he doesn't have to go to the bathroom after staying up all night. So then, malachim aren't listening to my shiur, so they should ask the shilah to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Akoponim, that's the gabe natil sidayim, mavashena lekai neshama, and anatil sidayim. The gabe birchas HaTorah, so birchas HaTorah. No, that lemaisa is shining out the rain, and I'm going to cause you trouble now. Why am I going to cause you trouble? Because we all know there's a very big fight between the poskim. Is every day get a new birchas HaTorah, and that's the hefsek. One day, one birchas HaTorah. Doesn't matter if you sleep. Doesn't matter if you don't sleep. Or others hold no. It all depends on a sleeping of kavua. Did you sleep or did you not sleep? A sleeping of kavua. A kavua dika sleep. So if I stayed up the whole day. So then, how could you make a birchas HaTorah? And the Mishnah Berurah seems to be chayshish for this shita. However, the Mishnah Berurah brings Rabbi Kiva Eiger, and Rabbi Kiva Eiger says that if you slept during the day, which most people that are staying up the whole night sleep during the day. So if you slept during the day, so then the next morning you'll make a birchas HaTorah. Why? Because according to the shitas, it's totally in sleep. So then you anyways had a hefsek of sleep. Elamai, you were worried about the shitas that maybe it's totally in a new day. So then anyways, it's a new day. So when you hit the alois, you'll make a birchas HaTorah. That's Rabbi Kiva Eiger. So that's what everybody knows. The only thing is that I'm going to ruin Rabbi Kiva Eiger for you. But I say, how are you going to have the night of Shavuos, that Halakha night of Torah, that Yom Din of Torah, that Kedusha, the Halakite of the learning of Torah, the whole Shavuos night, where you connect yourself to the millions and millions and millions of Yidden since Matan Torah that have learned on Shavuos night and are connected to Har Sinai, and you're going to learn without a birchas HaTorah according to some shitas about that. So what are you going to do? You're going to go and have kavanah in Avos Olam. You're going to go and have the kavanah in the bracha of Avos Olam. And what better way to start Shavuos night? In Avos Olam, we'll have kavanah for birchas HaTorah. And then after I finish saying Avos Olam, dahainu after Shmoneh Esrei, I'm going to learn. The first thing on Shavuos night I'm going to do is learn Torah to make my Avos Olam into a birchas HaTorah connecting to Torah. Now, for Shteitzer, there's no kasha why the Mishnah Berurah doesn't say this. Mishnah Berurah is talking about if someone did this. Mishnah Berurah is not talking about what to do. Mishnah Berurah is saying, if someone did this, this is the din. But we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that our learning Torah the whole entire night has a birchas HaTorah on it. So what are we going to do? We're going to say Avos Olam and have the kavanah. It's very good, Rabbi said. It means you'll actually have kavanah during Avos Olam also. And we're going to have kavanah that we're going to use this for birchas HaTorah. And then right away, we're going to learn the second day after davening, which is also a wonderful mile. So now you messed up. Because what are you going to do in the morning with a birchas HaTorah? So there are some that have shita that you could be magbil the birchas HaTorah and say, I want it to work till the morning. But that's a very big machlekes, Rabbi said. It's a safek brachas. And this year, you really need to know the answer to this question, because in a regular year, you just, I'd say, with the fellow in shul. But this year, if you're not going to be going to shul, so you're going to have to, what are you going to have to do, Rabbi say? So this is a shvera shaila. Halacha l'maisa on this shaila, Rabbi say, what should I tell you? What should I tell you? L'chayra. What should I tell you? I don't know. What should I tell you? You have to be Yaitse in Avarabba. You have to be Yaitse in Avarabba. It's a safek brachas. I don't know what to tell you. You have to be Yaitse in Avarabba. What should I tell you? I don't know. You have to be Yaitse. You have to be Yaitse in Avarabba. What should I tell you? You're going to miss out the chance of saying Azab birchas HaTorah where you dive into Rebbeinu Shalom. They should make Torah sweet in your mouth and in the mouth of all the Klal Yisrael. Maybe you can get somebody to walk past your house and just to like say the birchas HaTorah by the door or something, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you could slip a sleeping pill into somebody's drink or something so he should fall asleep. How you not going to say? I guess the only thing I can be menachem you is tomorrow when you say Birchas HaTorah. You say Birchas HaTorah. On the Erev Shavuos Birchas HaTorah. You say Ashleishis Yimei Agbola Tika Birchas HaTorah tomorrow, which I tell you, Rabbi say Manasseh. And then after Avarabba, you go and you make a Birchas HaTorah. The Mishnah Berurah says if a person sleeps during the day, when he wakes up, if he makes a Birchas HaTorah, I'm a Varich Lo Hifsid. So I would have had a tzad to tell you that maybe that's like a shtickle aid. So the minig is not like that, right? Because the minig, everyone knows, on Shabbos afternoon, you go to sleep, and when you wake up, nobody makes a Birchas HaTorah. So the minig is not to. But maybe if a person goes to sleep, maybe this will be like a shtickle aid. So he's going to have the das of the Avarabba, that the Avarabba should last until he sleeps. And that's not so schwer anymore. Because, there could be tzirufim of shitas, and the Mishnah Berurah allows you to make the bracha. So then at least during the daytime when he wakes up, he'll make a Birchas HaTorah. I could imagine what a simcha Birchas HaTorah to make on a Shavuos day. He goes, he sleeps a little bit in the morning, and then he comes and he has his Igla Tilsa, and then he learns for the next 4 or 5 hours, and Birchas HaTorah that he has beforehand. Could you imagine how geschmack such a Birchas HaTorah is going to be, Rabbi say? Now, let me get weiter, Rabbi say, Akdomis. What's going to be this year with Akdomis? So you say it yourself, Rabbi say. Akdomis is such a beautiful tefillah, Rabbi say. A beautiful, beautiful tefillah. The goyim, they come to us. They tell us, look at you. You get beaten for the Torah, and you get murdered for the Torah. And we tell them the Torah. We would do anything for the Torah. The Torah is life itself. You think that we're having Mesiras Nefesh. We tell them we have Simchas HaNefesh. By us, Torah is not a Mesira of Nefesh. Torah is life. You say that, Thomas. Last year in the shul, by us, that people get tired this morning, Rabbi say. So they called up the Kohen, which is supposed to do before Akdamis, and then the Kohen said, Baruch Hu es Hashem Amvarach. Now that the minig nowadays is not like that. There used to be a minig that they would read the first pasuk and then read the Akdamis. But that's not the minig today. And he said Baruch Hu. So I chapped it right away. I said, no. So they didn't know what to do because they said Baruch Hu, but they didn't say the bracha yet. So I'll tell you what I patskined last year. What I patskined last year is that he should, the Baruch Hu we keep on the side. Don't say the bracha. Say the Akdamis. And then afterward, you go back and say just the bracha without the Baruch Hu. That's how I paskined last year. Somebody found this out, and he told the story to a wonderful Jew that wrote the Shiurim of Rav Shmuel Kamenetsky, and he said that Rav Shmuel Kamenetsky said not like that, and that Rav Shmuel Kamenetsky said that the Baruch Hu, you can make another Baruch Hu. Okay? I respectfully disagree, but there's a big machlokes in this. It's an interesting shaila, it's a geschmack shaila. You need to know these shailas. Everybody said, Shavuos morning, anything can happen. Anything can happen when you're that tired. Rabbi say when you get to Hallel, I say, I just missed 3 words. If you miss one word in Hallel, you're not Yaitse a Hallel Shalom. If you miss one word, if you miss one ois, and you're very, very tired. Remember how tired you are, Rabbi say? And it's a Hallel Shalom. So you got to be very careful. You got to get in there. With the ganze Lev and the ganze Kishkes, you're saying Hallel now. What a Hallel is thus. It's a Hallel of the Matan Torah Hallel. Okay. Now the Sif Gimel over here talks about certain chumras that we're not allowed, unfortunately, to say Tachanun the whole week. I know it's going to be very painful for some of you that we don't say Tachanun because Tachanun you daven for the Gullus, and some are machmer that they don't even say Tachanun until Yud Gimel in Chutz Laretz, not just the days of Tashlumin, even, Sveikis days of Tashlumin. I know it's going to be very hard for the Oilam over here, especially because this is going to be very, very schwer for everybody, because the only thing that what should I tell you? The only thing I could give you in the Chama is that's last day of Yud Gimel, it falls out on a Friday, and the Zidit Shoiver didn't say Tachanun anyways on Friday. The reason that the Shoiver didn't say Tachanun on Friday is because he thought that when he said Tachanun, he would die. He was afraid of the intense kavanah that he had during Tachanun, and that's why he didn't say Tachanun on Friday because he thought he would die, and he didn't want that people should have to be oisik in his kfura close to Shabbos. If anybody's worried about that, he also shouldn't say tachanun on Fridays because, who would want that? So Akapanim, but, Akapanim, perhaps, it should be menachem you a little bit that if you don't say the tachanun next Friday in Chutz La'aretz, Lemaisa, the Chofer also didn't say it on Fridays, and that's what you're saying, Mechan. The Mishabura, the place can bring down the minig of Klal Yisrael is to badek and to be malabish the base medrash and the houses with greenery and flowers and whatnot, because Har Sinai was Hatzoyna Bakar al Yirah. That means it was all filled with grass and beautiful trees and everything, etc. The Goyin was mevatel this minig. Why? Because of those that follow the mamzer, because they put up all their kratzmach trees and all their mishigasim, so it has a certain shmek of b'chukaseyim leisalechu. Now the ma'isa, this is an alta fight and an alta machlekes, and the das Torah, the b'shana kedua. He argued on the goyim, and he said all types of svaras that they put up trees. We don't even put up real trees. They put up trees outside the house. We put whatever we put inside the house, and Lemaisa, I think today most people you don't find have a minig of bringing in trees, and that mistama is because of the koyach of the Vilnagayin. However, when it comes to flowers and whatnot, so that is definitely the minig of Rav of Klal Yisrael, is to dress up their houses with flowers, etc. And that is certainly one could be saimich on it. Derech Agav, plants might be muksa because of the fact that they are yoinik. Flowers that are cut flowers are not muksa. People make a mistake, and they're not muksa. Obviously, with water and that's a whole different parsha. And Hilchos Shabbos and Mitzvah Shem, we'll get there. That's upon him. What a person should do, he should certainly fill up his house with flowers and whatnot for the beauty of Matan Torah and to make that ruach. Legabe milchiks, noyigim bekame mekoymis lecho machale chalav biyoyim rishon of Shavuos. The yoyim rishon of Shavuos. Agav, it sounds like the minig is dafka on day 1 of Shavuos and not on the second day of Shavuos. Also, this year it's on Shabbos. How do you eat milchiks on Shabbos? What are you, a guy? I mean, I don't even know if you could eat milchiks on Shabbos. Is there? How do you eat it on Shabbos? How do you eat milchiks on Shabbos? Someone told me such a weird thing. Such a weird thing. Why are you making different minhagim and klali? Such a weird thing. They made a bar mitzvah. Such a weird thing. They were making a bar mitzvah. It's a weird thing. They're making a bar mitzvah, but like weird, Rabbi said. And the menu on the Shabbos lunch was milchiks. I said, I didn't know that goyim had bar mitzvahs. And then the person, those overly intellectual people that I don't do well with, starts explaining to me, bring me rayas that there's no din to have meat on Shabbos. I hear, did your Zayda stand in Har Sinai? Mine did. And they don't eat milchiks on Shabbos. Kol tuv, right? Shal Shuddis, you want to eat milchiks? No, I'm not going to fight you about Shal Shuddis milchiks. No. But upon him, Shabbos lunch to have milchiks? What kind of mishigas is that? What's next? What's next? Next thing you know, there'll be ladies learning Daf Hayomi. Upon him, I'm not holding there by side. That's the same type of chevra that, the wife cuts the moitzi. Verstehst? I'm not holding there yet. Upon him, but on Yontif of Shavuos, so the minig is to have milchiks. Now, this Rabbi says not a pashut a minig. When, where, what, why? Because some say let's do it at night. Others say, which you've heard from me probably Shiurim in the past. We spoke about these in Yonim. Some the stipler at a minig, milchiks at night. Others say, whoa, you can't have milchiks at night. We paskin halacha that there's a din of simchas yontif which requires meat, and that din is even at night. And this is Taka. The Taki Tshuva is very upset about this, and I don't know. It's a big thing. It's a big, now Nussi is telling us that in BMG the minig is they have milchiks at night. They say that Rav Aaron said because Taka, you have milchiks at night, you'll be able to stay up. Machenkin, if you have, eglet tilsa at night, you won't be able to stay up and learn the whole night. Maisa, sometimes some say the opposite. Milchiks didn't, and Yael give milchiks to make them, make him a sisra to fall asleep. I mean, so I don't know. What I do is I do fleishiks at night because there is a mitzvah simchas yontif at night. If you have the minig, so then you do your minig. The minig the Ramah is talking about is a totally different minig. Don't get confused. The minig of the Ramah is that you have during the day, you have at the same meal milchiks and fleishiks. That's the minig of the Ramah. I'll explain in a minute. Some people have a minig, they don't do that. But if you want to know what the Ramah's minig of why to have milchiks, it's people make a mistake. Everyone knows the reasons of milchiks because Torah is yummy and sweet, and chiku mamtokim and kuloi machmodim, and milchiks also has a certain sweetness to it. Okay, right? I don't know. I prefer steak. Others have the reason brought down the poskim say is that milchiks, because since they had just got the Torah Kedosha, so all their kalim were treif, and they had to go and shecht animals and this and that. It wasn't the game. Mashenkin milchiks. All you have to do is just to have the cheese and this and that. You don't need to have kalim and whatnot. That's a nice reason. Others have all different reasons. That the dam, like a dam nida, is nasich chalav. So the dam of the 7 weeks of the Shiva Nekiyim is nasich chalav. Okay, all different reasons. That's not the reason the Ramah. The Ramah is a much more lumdish reason. It's a very interesting reason. The Ramah says we know that there's a korban on Shavuos called the Shtei Alechem. How do we have a zecher of the Shtei Lechem? Says the Ramah, you'll have milchiks in the beginning of the meal with one bread. Now the halacha is that you're not allowed to have fleishiks at the same meal if you have the same bread. So we're going to have to take off the bread from the milchiks, and then we're going to have to bring another bread. Obviously, we're going to have to wash out our mouth. Obviously, we're going to have to wash our hands. Obviously, we're going to have to change the tablecloth, but we're also going to have to bring out another bread, and that'll be a kiyum of the shtei lechem. Now, according to the Ramah, the whole idea of milchiks is just a chetimtza, so that I should have a zecher of the shtei lechem. Because if I start bring out two breads, mechatesi. But if I have to bring out a separate bread, then it's a zecher. But Rabbi said you learned a lot from this Ramah. From this Ramah, you learned that you are allowed to have milchiks and fleishiks in the same meal unless you have a minig not like this. Obviously, it's in the direction of milchiks and then fleishiks. And obviously, we're not talking about hard cheese. But if you want to have fleishiks in the meal and then milchiks, that's usser. You're never allowed to have fleishiks in the same meal. You always have to bench and you have to wait the amount of time you have to wait. Mashain kain, milchiks to fleishiks. So the dina, the Gemara, the dina, the Shulchan Aruch is that you're allowed to have milchiks, wash out your mouth, wash your hands, even in the same meal, bring a different bread, and kol tuv. There are avada many that don't have that minig, and they won't have milchiks and fleishiks in the same meal based on the Zoyar, and they'll bench in between, and some will even wait half an hour, and some have all different cheeses that they anyways consider to be hard cheese. I think the minig today of most people, I think you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the minig of, I shouldn't say most people, I think many have the minig that they'll have fleishik and meals, I think, and then they'll have like cheesecake in the morning or whatever. If 3 in the morning, they'll have a piece of cheesecake, they'll have a kiddush of cheesecake, but they each their own. For me, it's not so negayah to have a milchik meal because, first of all, my oinig yantif is a murdered cow that you saw a minute ago. That's first of all. And second of all, the oinig of yantif, in addition to being the grace of simcha for Shavuos and whatnot, but a guy like me, the people that eat milchiks, it's because they eat fish and they eat all types of stuff. What are you going to give me? A bagel and cream cheese on Shavuos? Hello, Rabbi say, this is not a birthday party. This is Matan Torah. I don't know. Could you imagine at a chasana they would serve milchiks? Right? Oh my goodness, could you imagine? I would tell them that the kedushin is puzzle and we don't even have to give her a get. Milchik, okay, let me get invited. Now, but be careful with the minhagim, Rabbi say. The reason why, said some sefer, why do we eat milchiks? Because the fight that we had to fight with the malachim, that the malachim said, you are taking the Torah away, the tchachka, the chemdige nuze, the gewaldige treasure, you're taking it away from us in Shemayim. So how did we answer that, Taina? So the Gemara tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu said, you came down to earth one time and look what you did. You weren't makbid on basa v'chalav. And that was our schus to get the milk, to get the Torah. So the schus that we eat milchiks. Where did the malachim eat basa v'chalav? Because Avram Avinu gave them milchiks. He gave them the chema, and then afterward he gave them tongue. And it doesn't say anywhere that they washed out their mouth in between. You hear this, my say? They lost the Torah Kadosh and Shemayim because they were not makbid on a darabanan of a milchis and fleishiks. Not eating the meat and milk cooked together, and not eating the meat and then the milk. No. They had the milk first, and then afterward the meat. But we don't find that they washed their hands and washed out their mouth. We don't find that. As a result, because of that, they lost the Torah. So when it comes to Shavuos, Rabbi said, oh, you be very, very super careful on all of the Kepedas, Rabbi say. You be very careful to make sure that you wash the hands and the mouth and the everything, and all the Kepedas and all the Chimras, Rabbi say. There's an Indian in the Shari Tshuva brings down in Sivkot and Zion to make Echnasis Torah on the Shavuos. I don't know if we'll be Zeicha this year. There's a whole shaila about lighting candles, to light a candle for the covet of that Achnasa Sefer Torah, because it's on Yontif. They have a right to light the candles on Yontif for Achnasa Sefer Torah, because maybe it's a ner that's not necessary. Whoever has to say Yisker, you can say Yisker Taka, even not in a shul. Don't feel that, you have to put yourself, if you're unable to go to a shul, Yisker, you could say not in a shul. And let's just be Messiah, Rabbi Yisai. Let's just be Messiah. What Lemaisa? I gave a lot of shiurim, on Chizik and Shavuos. I'm sure some of you listened to some of the shiurim. And, tomorrow we'll get together again at 5 o'clock. My time, Akopanim, which I think is 10 o'clock your time. And, we'll say a vart and something to be mechazik us in Shavuos. And there's a lot of the Shavuos Torahs that you don't need me. You have other people that are being mechazik in Torah anyways, and the Shavuos. But I just want to tell you one thought that, that I have for such a tzibur, that for the last 9 weeks in Klal Yisrael, right? What have we been doing? What have we been doing for the last 9 weeks? In probably one of the darkest periods in the history of Klal Yisrael. We lost the shuls. We lost the Kodel Torah. We lost the ability to come together in a base medrash. We lost the beginning of a summer zman. We lost the tmimis of a zman when a person steigs together, bechabura. But what did we do? When we were in that matziv, when the whole Klal Yisrael was mebulbul and the navoich and Rahman al-Tzlan suffering, and parnasa suffering, and health suffering, and everything suffering, right? What did we do? Rabbi Sai? What did Chazu, why in Shemayim are they saying about our unsere Chabura? What are they saying in Shemayim? They're saying Chazu bonai chavivai. They're saying, look at them. They forget everything else in the world. And look what they did over the course of the last 9 weeks, straight through a Ben Azmanim. A Ben Azmanim that some people think to learn Torah is about Toysif, right? A Ben Azmanim. What did we do for the last 10 weeks? We learned the whole entire Sefer Mishnah Berurah Chelik Hey, mit all halachas, mit all halachas, with all raid and all Torah, with the tachlis to learn it, l'kayim et l'maisa, and then be'iyin, we learned Sachakol 3.5 seifim in the Shulchan Aruch and Bishul over the course of 23 shiurim. That's all we did. 23 shiurim on the topics of Bishul, and we know that we can do another 230. And all we did was we showed mishtachin b'tzara. They forget about their own tsar, and that the only thing that these Jews care about is a blat gemara, is Torah kedosha, is the geschmack of Torah kedosha. What should I tell you, Rabbi Sai? To be mechazik us in Torah, when all we love is Torah and all we care about is Torah. All I can tell you, Rabbi Sai, is Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky once walked in. I think it was a grandson's bar mitzvah, and at this grandson's bar mitzvah, so all the kids were there. And Rabbi Yankov, with his moyerdik charisma, Rabbi Yankov said to the children, he said to them, it was right before Shavuos, and he said, Yingelach, no, how could Klal Yisrael say Nasa v'nishma? How could they say it? Nasa. How do you know? How do you know that they're going to want it? How do you know? You don't even know what it is. So how do you know? So they said, Taka good kasha. So Rabbi Yankov told them, Taka good kasha, nuchav kasha. Who wants chocolate? Yankov Zakasha. Who wants chocolate? So all of a sudden, the children said, right? Yeah, we all want chocolate. Yes. Do all you children want chocolate? Yeah. Yes, we all want chocolate. So Yankov said, how do you know? You could say about you want to say chocolate, you want chocolate, right? But how could you say that everybody in the class wants chocolate? What do you mean? How can you say everyone wants chocolate? So Rabbi Yankov told them, and they told Rabbi Yankov, because everyone loves chocolate. Everyone loves chocolate. So we could say, yes, we all want chocolate. Says Rabbi Yankov Kamenetsky, Klal Yisrael can say, yes, we want Torah. You want to know what's going to be one day, a grandchild down the road? He doesn't know. Everyone loves Torah. We love Torah. Everyone loves Torah. There's no one that doesn't love Torah Kedosha. There's no one that doesn't love Torah Kedosha. The Gemara says in Avodah Zarah that at the end of time, I'll read you from the Gemara. The Gemara brings that Lasid Lava, they're going to come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is going to say, Mi Yosek, but Torah ever came to be Yosek in Torah. Yavoi v'yitel scharoi. Come and get your schar. Miyad miskabsin. All of a sudden, who comes? The Goyim. Whoever learned Torah, come and you'll get schar. Okay, Gevaldik. All the Goyim start coming. There's Yasir, there's Yamach, there's Shmoi. They're all in line waiting to get the Torah, the schar for the Torah. So, and the Gemara goes on, right? You didn't know Isaac Torah. They said, what do you mean? We built bridges, we this, that, and the ganze Maisa. And Baisai Kasha. The only people that didn't come online was Klal Yisrael. The Arabs are going to come. Right? The Americans are going to come. The English are going to come. The Africans are going to come. They're all going to come and say, we learned Torah. Give us schar for Torah. And Kosh Baruch is going to say, you guys learned Torah? Come on. Hakmat Chainik. What are you talking? Right? The only ones that don't come Asid Lavai on that line when Hashem says, who learned Torah, come and get your schar, is Klal Yisrael. Where's Klal Yisrael? They're the only ones that actually learned Torah. So where are they? They should come and say, maybe they'll stand in the back of the line, but they say, we learned Torah. So then we're the ones that get schar, and Hashem is not going to say, no, you guys didn't learn Torah. So why didn't they go online? Why don't they go online? The answer is, Rabbi Isai, the answer is when someone gives you a prize, when someone gives you chocolate, when someone gives you the chiku mamtokim, kulei machmodim, he gives you Torah Kedosha. When somebody gives you a steak, he gives you kulei machmodim, the chiku mamtokim. All of the mishalim aren't shavabai. And he gives you the most precious thing in the world. And he says, who got a prize? Come and get a prize. What's it negayah to get a prize if you have Torah? You have Torah. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave you Torah Kedosha. Whoever learned Torah, come and get a prize. I have Torah. Whoever ate the treat, whoever ate chocolate, come and get your treat. I ate Torah. I have Torah. There's nothing more of treat than Torah. There's nothing more of treat than Torah. And the Heilige Chabura, that for the last 80 days, half of a fella, I say 75 days came out. Half of a fella that we learned together the Sefer Chelek of the Mishnah Berurah and 3 Seifim Be'in Rav of Bishul have shown exactly that Hashkafah that the Rebbeinu Shalom will say to us one day, what do you want? I'll give you anything. Forever we'll learn Torah. Come and get your schar. We'll say, schar for Torah. We love Torah. Torah is schar. There's nothing more delicious than Torah. There's nothing yummier than Torah. It's chiku mamtokim, the kuloi machmodim, the tchachka of the Heilige Bashefer. And every one of us knows how much we love to get together to learn Torah every single day. So what chizik can I give such Eden? What should I tell such Eden, Rabbi Isai? What should I tell you? We love Torah. We can't wait to have more Torah. We don't need chizik in Torah, Rabbi Isai. We're Torah holics. We love Torah. We'll never get enough of Torah. So this is, you tell somebody, get excited, the chasana is coming. If you have a chasana and a kala, they're not excited for the chasana, then they shouldn't get married. There's a big problem over here. You have to tell us to be excited for Torah. We love Torah, Rabbi Isai. And Baruch Hashem, we were Messiahing together, the Chelek after Shavuos. We're going weiter, noch a bishul, noch a shtikl Torah, noch a bissel Halacha. Some of us maybe will be zeicha to get together again. Keep your ears out for the emails, etc. But we're going weiter, more Torah, Rabbi Isai. What you, Rabbi Isai, I have such tremendous curse atoiv for what you did in these 75 days, Rabbi Isai. Half of a fella, Rabbi Isai. Half of a fella to show the Rebbeinu Shalom how much we love Torah, how much Torah Kedosha is a part of our life, how much Torah is Kiyayim Chayenu, Rabbi Isai, that we can do anything and that the whole world can fall apart around us. But if we have Torah, so then we have everything, Rabbi Isai. Baruch Hashem shezachinu l'zois. Baruch Hashem shezachinu to the Chelek of the Mishnah Berurah, to Hilchos Yontif, to Hilchos Pesach, to Hilchos Sfiras HaOmer, to Hilchos Erev Tavshilin, to Hilchos Matzah, to that Seder, to the Shavuos, to the Halacha Shavuos, to Pishul, to a cup of coffee, Rabbi Isai. Baruch Hashem, we recite the Torah, a Torah that you'll never forget. A Torah that you'll never forget. And then when we go to the Chuppah, Rabbi Isai, with the Torah, we'll show the Rebbeinu Shalom. We'll come in with the Bishop Ruth Gay. We'll come in, Rabbi Isai, with Rabbi Feinstein. I will say, Rabbi Shalom, how much we love Torah. You should give us the Torah because we love Torah. We love Torah. And when the Rabbi Shalom sees that, we had a Sphere Saima, a 9-week Sphere Saima where we prepared for Torah. For Torah, the Rabbi Shalom says, those are the people that I want to give Torah to. How much I have a card that type to you. Rabbi said we recite to learn such Halacha Torah, such Halacha Torah. What a simcha Shemayim! You have no asaga. Rabbi saying Shemayim the Malachim. What they're dancing. You know what the Malachim are saying in Shemayim in Tavshin Pei? They're saying we made a mistake 3,332 years ago. Because when we said why should Klal Yisrael get the Torah, now we know why. Now we understand, because they learned, no matter what, with Simchas Nefesh, they learned every day, with hasagas and amounts, and simcha and ahava. So then we don't deserve the Torah. Go and give those people the Torah, those that love the Halacha Torah. And the Rebbeinu Shalom will see, people that we love Torah, and he will be mezakas Bez Hashem with more Torah, ahava of Torah. And we're not going to ask for the schar of Torah because we have Torah. Torah Hashem temima. I toy Hashem tenimo. I toy Hashem tenimo. May Yeshivas Nova Fesh. I toy Hashem tenimo. I toy Hashem tenimo. I toy Hashem tenimo. May Yeshivas Nova Fesh.
Hey,
Hashem, Mano, I say, Mishnah Berurah, Maki Maspesi, Hashem, Mano.